All right, so week 3, 14.3, deadlifts and box jumps. I just want to touch on a few points that are going to be important for the workout. And some of it's going to have to do with the deadlift, some of it's going to have to do with the box jump. So right out of the gate, let's just set some expectations. What's your 1 rep max deadlift? That's going to dictate how far you even have the capacity to go on this workout, right? To set some clear expectations. And then we're going to look at what kind of box jumper are you? And the type of box jumper you are is going to dictate how you attack that portion of movement. It's 8 minutes long, which means we're pretty much going balls to the wall the whole time. And so, well, I guess the dudes are going balls to the wall. Ladies, you're going to press your belly firmly against the wall to get your uterus as close to the wall as possible. That's PC, right? So, on the deadlifts, for the men, we're going to open up at 135 pounds, which is a GO weight for the deadlift for really legit CrossFitters. And even for the weakest dude in your gym, you can still hit 135. So thank you, Dave Castro, for giving us something we all can hit some reps on out of the gate. And a 20-inch box for ladies and 24-inch box for men, something again that most of us who are even new CrossFitters can handle. So we're going to get a decent start. And there I expect athletes to literally go as fast as they possibly can. We're looking for something in the 30 to 45 second range on that whole first round. And then it's going to get interesting and increasingly more interesting as we proceed with that. So the deadlift jumps get heavy fast. Believe me, they get heavy fast. Whether you're a lady or a man, or how big your deadlift are, we played around with this evening, and that weight starts adding up quickly. And so I suggest in round 3, if not round 2, you start breaking those up. And on the deadlift, the thing that makes the difference is your rest. And what I'm looking for is less than 5 seconds as long as possible. Never, ever, ever more than 10 seconds. On the high end, you should less than 10 seconds. Even when we drop down to singles with rounded backs and pooping a little bit on every single rep, the rest should never exceed 10 seconds per rep. So, with that 5 seconds, and if it's you counting in your head, watching the wall clock, having someone stand next to your judge, kind of out loud for you to know, pick up the bar, pick up the bar. So when I set of 10s, unbroken. Set of 15s, should be unbroken. And then in that set of 20, we're either going to go into 5s or 3s, but with a really, really, really short rest. Now in the box jump, this is where we're going to see some differentiation in how we attack this movement. Do you jump up and step down? Do you jump up and jump down? Do you step up and step down? And the thing that I think makes the biggest difference is what type of box jumper are you? So if you are that jump into a squat kind of box jumper, like this, then I suggest you do step-ups, because the turnover on step-ups, long-term is going to work better for you. There's none of that anxiety, I'm getting tired, my back hurts, am I going to miss? Just keep stepping up. It'll keep you moving. Now, if you're a box jumper like this, then early, I think box jumps are going to save a little bit of time. We looked at it both ways, and it's only a couple of seconds, but in round 1 and 2, I think those couple of seconds could make a difference for later rounds. So, if you're a good box jumper, I say jump up and down in rounds 1 and 2, and then switch to step-ups for the rest of the workout. Now, if you're on the fence about it, you can't go wrong with good step-ups. And when I say good step-ups, I mean up, down, up, down. As soon as that second foot hits the top of the box, you're on your way down. As soon as that second foot hits the ground, you're on your way back up. That's going to make a difference. So, what kind of box jumper are you is going to dictate if you're a jumper or a stepper. And if you're stepping, we got to keep moving. Just keep moving. So we're looking at in that round of 20 for the men and the ladies. That bars have to get heavy. I like 3 to 5s, but you'll know, go by feel. I suggest you leave 1 in the tank every single round. Every time you pick up that bar, you do some reps, and you leave 1 to 2 in the tank, so you can have a short rest and attack it. Generally, if we've got 1, we've got 2. So if I leave 1 in the tank and rest 3 to 5 seconds, I've got 2 more right away. If I left 1 in the tank, I've got 2 to 3 more right away. In that round of 25, right, we're still doing that same thing. At the round of 25, we may have dropped down to singles, and if we think about it, 20 reps with a 5-second rest between is going to take somewhere around, what are we looking at? I think it's around 2 minutes to complete that set. So, we know that we got to leave ourselves ample time if we want to get into or through that 4th bar, which I think is going to be awesome. Now, for those big dogs who look at those upper end bars, right? If your deadlift is 355, there is no point in planning on a strategy that involves picking up that 365-pound barbell. Now, if your deadlift is 455, that's a different story. But today, we tested somebody with a 555-pound deadlift, and from what I saw, that 225-pound bar is getting Now, just because it's taxing, that means we're now moving to a mental game, an aerobic game, right? We got some big dog weightlifters in here, and there's lots of big dog weightlifters across the community. This thing doesn't mean what you think it means. Just because you were lifting 50% of your 1 rep max, and generally you can do that for 55 reps, you are deep in the rep hole by the time you've gotten to that 225 and let alone that 275-pound barbell. All right? There's a reason why Dave Castro put $500 up, saying no one's going to finish this. There's a reason why Peyton said people like to draft anybody that can finish this workout, because the monster that's going to come out of the woodwork and collect that $500 will probably be somewhere around this in terms of deadlift, and have something around this in terms of like a mile time, right? Or something like this in terms of 2K row time, right? A sick engine and a sick lifter, okay? And now, I accept that if somebody walks in here with a 505 deadlift and a 623 2K, right? Let's go give them a shot. I'd like to see what happens. That's a monster right there. So, like I was saying, we've got 2 issues, right? Setting clear expectations based on your 1 rep max deadlift and a realistic expectation of what bars you're going to get to, knowing these are going to get heavy. 2, what type of box jumper are you? And applying the appropriate style of box jumps for that. And then 3, how are we managing our rest time, right? Less than 5 seconds is ideal, never more than 10 seconds. And then one last thing, on that setup, today when I was going through this, just playing with that step-up box jump piece, I had my barbell too close to my box and had a little mishap. Check that out. 44 seconds. Sweet. So, make sure you're giving yourself ample room to make that backward step transition, so we can avoid some of those sprained ankles. And of course, get nice and warmed up. Last year on our box jump workout, we had an Achilles issue in our gym, and I have met lots of gym owners across the country and around the world who saw similar things happen. So make sure your athletes or yourself are primed. Get those calves warm, those Achilles warm, and ready for this workout. And if you are not training the jump down at high rep, then don't do it. Don't start today trying to set a world record with jumping up and jumping down. It's not something in your toolkit already. Sweet. So let's get after this. Short rest, know your box jump style, set clear expectations, and get after it. Awesome.